Hey love, and welcome back to another video. My name is Pauline for those of you who are new to this channel, where I talk about all things locks, beauty, business, wellness, all the good stuff, right? Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, I'm saying we like we right here talking, but I guess we are. Y'all listening, even if it's not real time. So we're going to be talking about the lock consultation. So for those of you who are looking, whether you're transferring to a new loctician or you're looking for someone to install your locks, I want to talk to you about the consultation process and what you need to look for, or just things you need to think about and questions you need to ask when you're going through the consultation process. So many people just go to a consultation, just show up. They might have one or two questions, and then that's it. And you're just taking whatever they say for, whatever it is, you're just taking it as is. So it's best for you to go in there with, good questions. I'm not saying go there and be annoying, okay? But at least have some questions, good questions that can help you with better understanding what you're going into, okay? So this is the consultation piece preparation, something like that, okay? All right, so let me pull up my notes. So when you go to a consultation, first of all, before you go to any consultation, I would hope that you would have done your research prior going to a consultation, because doing your research prior will help you eliminate or minimize the number of consultations you may have to do that you would have done if you didn't do your research. So if you do your research, it will eliminate some people off bat for you, okay? So do your research. Look to see if you like their quality of work. Look to see, some of y'all have certain expectations. So look to see if, just based off of their website, social media, or whatever it is, if they meet your expectations, okay, before booking a consultation. Once you book that consultation, some people charge for consultation. Most people charge for a consultation. I don't know anyone who doesn't charge for a consultation. So when it comes to the consultation piece, you want to, one, look to see if the person can work with your hair type. So see if they can work with your hair type, and see if there are recommendations, if the person can provide recommendations for your hair type. I know some of you guys go in the consultation already feeling like you know what you want, until the conversation gets deeper, then you realize, well, I guess I don't know what I want, or I guess I wasn't clear, So it's good to know if the person knows how to work with your hair type, knows how to make suggestions on what will be best for your hair. And I know some of you guys look for people who are experts in a certain field, but you have to think about the person's expertise overall, because you have some people who are licensed cosmetologists and locticians, so they might have information on both sides that that might be beneficial, that will be beneficial to you. But you also have some people who might just have one specialty. And so you want to make sure that the person is well-versed enough to be able to help you make the best decision for your hair. So I'm not going to even say look for someone who's been doing it for like 10, 15 years or whatever, because length of time someone's been performing a service does not always mean longer, better. Okay? So I don't want you guys to feel like, I need to go find somebody who's been doing it longer because they're better. That's not always the case. And then just because if someone's been doing it less time doesn't mean that they know less, if that makes sense. Someone might have been a cosmetologist, a licensed cosmetologist for like 20 years, or a natural hairstylist for 20 years. So they have a lot of knowledge and understanding about natural hair. And then they decided to pick up and become and study locks, and now they're a loctician. So although they're new to being a loctician, it doesn't mean they don't have prior knowledge about hair care that is going to help you along your lock journey. So I want you guys to be able to look at, is this person well versed, or does this person know more than just one type of locks, and so forth. Okay, So if I'm not saying don't go to someone who only do one thing, but just know that if you're going to someone who only does one thing, that's pretty much what they're going to advise you on, is that one thing. Okay. Um, and definitely do your research prior. You can go, most people post their work on social media, so you can go on social media to look at their work. I know some of y'all feel skeptical about social media, um, about people potentially posting other people's work pretending it's theirs and stuff, but if you do enough research, you'll be able to, um, cut out the people who ain't really doing much. Okay. So, all right. So the next thing you want to ask about, let them know, definitely share your lifestyle, your activities. Let them know what you have going on so that they can better guide you in your decision. So sometimes when someone comes to me and say, well, I want 2-strand twists, and they have a loose curl pattern, a very active lifestyle where like they work out a lot, they sweat a lot and all this other stuff, and they come into me talking about a 2-strand twist with a loose curl pattern, I'm like, baby, I don't think that would be the best choice for you because of X, Y, and Z. So definitely communicate your lifestyle, like if you work out a lot and if you sweat a lot, different things like that that's going to impact the your lock journey. Okay. Another thing to consider is the size of the locks that you want. I get people that come to me and they will show me pictures of the size of locks that they want. So let's say somebody come to me and say, I want Sisterlocs. And a lot of times when you're saying Sisterlocs, you guys are thinking you're talking about a technique, but it's really the term you're using is just the brand, right? Sisterlocs is the brand. So some people will come and say they want Sisterlocs, but then they'll pull up a picture of somebody who is their lock inspo, and the picture is with somebody with micro traditional locks, if that makes sense, or small locks, but it's not small enough for it to be Sisterlocs. So I always go, and then I go into, just really educating them about the size of locks and different things like that. Because what most people are looking at least for the clients, what they're looking at the strand. You're looking at the strand, but you're not looking at the parts. We're focusing on the parts, but you're looking at the strand. And depending on your hair, to get your hair to be the size of the strand that you're showing us in the picture, you might have to go bigger or you might have to go smaller. So there's a lot to consider. And let me share something real quick about these parts. Y'all know me, I'm big on parts. I love my parts. I take pride in my parts and different things like that. That's not the main thing, but I'm big on parts. However, people have been obsessed with parts that they think is Sisterlocs, and it's not. You guys are in love with the social media grid, and I'm just going to call it a social media grid. I'm not going to say who started it because I don't know. You guys are in love with the social media grid. And the social media grid is where the lines connect and go all the way across. Everything is even and it's beautiful, right? Just like when you go look at somebody's braids, you see the rolls are straight, everything's even, and y'all love it, right? And y'all think that's the Sisterlocs grid. And it's not. It's not the Sisterloc grid, because Sisterlocs, the parts, the rows don't have, the front rows don't have to connect to the back. As a matter of fact, when they teach it to you, the rows in the front don't connect to the rows in the back. So some of you guys will go to someone and say, I want Sisterlocs, thinking that your rows are going to connect front to back, or from the side all the way around. And when you don't get it, you're disappointed and you're saying this person didn't give you Sisterlocs because the grid wasn't what you expected. And so it's important to understand that y'all got to get away from the title. Okay? You have people who do sister locks and will give you the parts that will connect all the way around. That's just somebody who, like me, I like my parts to connect all the way around, and I'm going to make them connect. But I wasn't taught to make them connect. I just like my stuff to be connected, because before I was a sister lock consultant, I was a braider. And as a braider, you're not going to disconnect your rows, right? So I just brought in my previous skills into my current work. And so I've had people say, hey, can you look at my grid? This person didn't do it right. I asked them for Sisterlocs and they didn't do it right. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, they did it right. But the grid, my grid is all off. This row ain't going all the way across. Baby, they did it right because they did it the way they were taught to do it. So you have to be mindful of what you're asking for, and the brand of locks you're asking for, because you may not get exactly what you want. Another thing about the sizing of the locks. Some of you guys want a particular size. For me, when I do my locks, when I lock hair, I've always made the sizes consistent all over, unless you have an area that has a really low density where I'm gonna have to make alterations in the parts. Y'all see photos like that on Instagram, y'all fall in love with it, and then y'all go to Sisterlocs consultant and say, I want Sisterlocs, thinking you're gonna get parts that's consistent all throughout your head. When in reality, when you do Sisterlocs, it's typically you go from small, medium to large. You're not, but y'all see on social media, well, I saw somebody with, Sisterlocs and all their parts was, consistent, and I don't know why my parts aren't consistent. I'm saying all of this to say, some of you guys are married to a title, thinking because someone has this specific title, you're going to get what you saw on social media, or you're going to get a certain thing. When in reality, you just have people who've enhanced the work. So just be mindful that you're focusing on the quality of the work and the type of look you want versus going by a title. Just like when you work your job in corporate America or wherever you work, and your manager, you probably know more than your manager, or your manager don't know everything. Same. Just because someone have a manager on their title don't mean that they know everything. And so just because someone has a Sisterlocs consultant title or Microlocs specialist or whatever, that you're going to get what you think you're going to get. So I'm just cautioning you, don't pick your person based off a title. Pick your person based off of their work. And then know what size locks are you interested in. People come to me, some people, they come and they're a blank slate, which is fine because I could work with that. And I'll ask, okay, what size locks do you want? And some won't have an idea, some will. Either way, talk about that a little bit in your consultation. Do you have, and if you have a preference about, how you want your parts and how you want your size locks, express those. You might not get it because if your hair does not qualify for what you're asking, then that's a different story, but at least express what you're looking for. Okay. And also, another thing to consider in the consultation is to look for, to think about or ask about their starting method. How do they, start their locks? Is it going to be started with interlocking? If it's going to be started with two-strand twist braids, coils, free, crochet, like how it's going to be started. Like I said, I like for you to consider someone who's well-versed in different things versus just one locking style. Like someone who only know how to start your locks with braids. Why aren't they starting your locks another, like why don't they know other ways to start? So if they're only starting locks with braids or only starting locks with 2-strand twists, is it a preference for them, or is it that's all they know? If it's a preference, that's something different. Is that tells me they know how to start the other ways, but they just prefer to specialize or niche down on one thing. And that's fine. But if they're just only starting one way because they only know one way, then I personally will be a little bit hesitant, because then you're not going to be able to inform me on what is best for my hair and what's not. Okay, so be mindful of that. What other services that they provide? Some of you guys want more than just an install and a retie. Some of you guys want shampoo. Some of you guys want hair treatment. Some of you guys want the person to be able to color. Some of you guys want somebody to style. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop, definitely ask about, the different services that they provide. Do they do, some of you guys want somebody who's able to repair. So if later on in your lock journey you need a repair, you already set up. So if you're the type that want a one-stop shop, then when you go to your consultation, now some of these you can find out before you get to the consultation, but when you go to the consultation, just make sure that, okay, ask them of what other services they provide to see if that works for you or not. Ask about the maintenance schedule. Some of you guys just get your install and you don't know the schedule, you don't know, all this other stuff. Ask about the maintenance schedule. How often will I need to come for a maintenance? Ask what are the expected costs for regular maintenance. What is it going to cost to maintain every said weeks or every said hour or whatever it is? So get that information so you're not surprised when you come for your retightening, they hit you with a price that you weren't expecting. So definitely ask about maintenance, how often you have to maintain, how often and what the cost is. Some of my when I do consultations, sometimes based on the clients and my maintenance, for me, my maintenance schedule is based on the person's hair. So I'm not going by so if the person has Sisterlocs, because Sisterlocs said every 6 weeks, I'm not going by that because Sisterlocs says that. I'm going by that person's hair, because some people's hair can do more or less. So that's me. Every person is an individual. Everybody's journey is going to be different. So it's not a one size fit all kind of thing. So for me, I go by the person's hair. Not everybody's hair grow at the same rate. Not everybody's going to have the same lock size. Not everybody's going to have the same density, and all of that affect the size of the locks, and it's going to affect what that person hair can handle or not. So definitely look into that. And I've had clients based on their density, size of locks, lifestyle, and all this other stuff. I would say, okay, you need to maintain every such and such time, and they'd be like, "Oh, I can't keep up with that." Then we need to go another route. We need to go bigger, or we need to do something else. So find out that information, because that will help you to be able to make a decision to see if that's something you can handle and keep up with. Okay. And then of course, check on the best, see if they have some type of hair care routine for your locks after you get them locked. Okay, so after you get it locked, is there some type of maintenance routine you require or anything like that? I would also ask about the pricing structure. So if they're telling you, okay, your price is X amount every X amount of time, what happens if you go beyond that X amount of time? So figure out what that is so you can plan accordingly. So you can have them coins when it's time to get, if you go 12 weeks without a retie, you need to have your coins together so you're not surprised about the cost. So ask them about the any extra fees that they might incur if that you might incur if you go over your scheduled time, or different things like that. So what are the costs? Find out, so of course you're going to get the price for the install, but get the price for the maintenance, get the price for the overdue maintenance, get the price for if you were to need a repair down the road, get the price for that. And let me just say, once again, going back to these titles, some of y'all are gung-ho on, oh, I need a Sisterlocs person to start my locks. There's nothing wrong with that. But you guys are limiting yourself, because if the person is only Sisterlocs trained and have not had any other training outside of Sisterlocs, then this person is not going to have all the extra skills and knowledge that's going to be needed to care for your locks. Meaning, Sisterlocs does not teach a lot on repairs, right? So if you need a repair, some of y'all be having 2 inches y'all be having a piece of lock that would have that fell off, or something happened to it, and y'all coming back and wanting this person to reattach this lock, and then y'all get mad when the Sisterlocs consultant tells you, "Oh, baby, I don't reattach locks. I don't do that." And then y'all get mad. They don't teach you that. That's not something you learn in the class. You have to get additional training from someone else who's going to teach you how to reattach, how to repair this, how to repair that. They teach you some repairs, but nothing with extending, reattaching, or doing any of that stuff to your locks. So, and then y'all turn y'all nose up on the Sisterlocs consultant like, "I thought you knew everything." No, they're not supposed. Nobody's gonna know everything, but do know, because you over here is like, "I need a Sisterlocs consultant on my head." Just do know that if that's all the training they had, they're going to be limited on what they can do when it comes to certain repairs, and you can't be mad about that. So if you know that's a deal breaker for you, find somebody who is well versed, have done different trainings and different things like that. Okay. Now there are more and more people doing trainings that includes everything. My courses, I teach people everything. I teach you how to start, maintain. I teach you the different ways to start locks. There's not just one way to start locks, so I teach you the different ways to start locks. I teach how to repair locks, reattach, do all that stuff. I teach you how to figure out the size and this and that. I teach social media. I teach all of that because I like to put out someone who's well-versed in their field. But y'all want those people in y'all head, but y'all turn y'all nose up to those people because they don't have a Sisterlocs title. And then get disappointed when the Sisterlocs person does not give you what you thought you wanted, or you get mad, or, feel some kind of way because they don't know how to add the little piece of lock that fell off your head back onto their locks. So I'm just letting y'all know, y'all stuck on titles, but y'all missing out on on folks. There are folks who can really provide quality work without that title. Okay. So just figure out what additional fees you should be aware of. Do they, what are their appointment policies? What's the cancellation or rescheduling policies? Is there a deposit required with every booking? Is there a fee for cancellation and rescheduling or whatever it is? Is there a late fee? Is there, just find out all of those things so you're not disappointed when, when they're telling you, "Oh, your price is X, Y, and Z." You're like, "What do you mean? What? How? Why? I didn't know." So ask all those questions so you're aware, okay? And then, ask about any aftercare follow-up. What do they do? Because some of y'all be so nervous. Y'all get y'all install and y'all be scared to go to sleep because you like, what if I sweat and one lock unravels? Like, and then y'all be blowing up y'all loctician. Like, one lock came undone. What? I need to come in tomorrow. Like, figure out what's that aftercare process is like for them. Okay. But overall, y'all, just find somebody you jive with. I know I'm using old school term, but find somebody you jive with, connect with, vibe with, find somebody who's going to take care of you and your locks. Don't get caught up with like titles and different things like that, because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment if that person didn't meet your expectation. And it's not fair for you to put those expectations on that person because you assumed that because this person has this title that, and just be realistic, y'all. Yeah, sometimes I feel like y'all be so hard on locticians or, Sisterlocs consultants and different things like that. How many of y'all got titles, have a title, but you don't know everything and you're still learning? You still got to, do your thing, but you don't know everything. You put on your job application, yeah, I know how to code, but you only know how to code only on one software. You don't know how to code on multiple softwares. Same thing, same thing. Like, and you say, yeah, I know how to work social media inside out, but you didn't specify that you only knew how to work Instagram and not YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying be gracious, because sometimes I feel like people be unrealistic and then just be clutching their pearls when things are like, what? You don't know how to repair? You don't know how to reattach this lock? But you're a whole Sisterlocs consultant. Why don't you know? That's how some of y'all be, when clients come to me and she didn't know how to reattach this lock. Baby, she wasn't trained on it. Okay, so that's all I got for y'all. Do your research, address any concerns, focus on quality, focus on who's going to give you the best bang for your buck and the best experience for your buck, and go from there. So I hope this video was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff that people do, share and all that other stuff, and go from there. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment. Let's talk about it. And I'm done for today, so I will meet you guys in the comments and go from there.